Hey guys, what's going on? It's MJ here. So we're gonna do a little bit of work on this good old-fashioned TRX4. So what do we do? Okay, first and foremost, we're gonna put on some new chubs. Okay, hey, what's going on, Jera? We're gonna put on some new chubs. The ones I have on here are new, but I'm going for a different thought process here. I also got some matching rear ones, um, GPM. We're going to see how these work out. I'm also going to be working, and I'm going to do a pinion. So I'm running the stock TRX4 45 tooth 32 pitch pinion, and I'm going to keep it in first gear. So I like to get a little bit more wheel speed and still keep some of that torque, and I can adjust the torque curve through my Hobby Wing axe system. But what I can't do is adjust other things, like to get the speed. I know Hobby Wing's got a big update coming up, so I will be looking into that pretty hardcore. But until then, I can't really do much. So let's kind of get this thing rolling. Tools wise, got your good old 7mm wrench. I also got a plethora a magnet, because this just makes life easier. Of course, you have Loctite, because you got to. Pliers, so a good needle nose will go a long way. And then I have various MIP tools. I think some of these are double, but that's okay. From 1.5 for the pinion on up to the 2.5 for the motor mounts. So the plan here is I'm going to get these Voodoo KLR M's off. By the way, solid tires. I'm very impressed with their overall performance. Here's what they look like. These are the KLR M's. We got a little bit of tuning to do with the foam, but we'll see what's going on with that in a little bit. Right now, also want to make sure all batteries are unplugged. And here we go. Here's my battery unplugged. Gonna put that off to the side. I'm sure, Jared, you're looking on seeing what's going on here, because you really haven't seen too much from under the hood, if you will. So don't mind my ugly mug here. We just started some summer break. Professionally, I'm an educator, and I'm done educating my kids for the academic school year, and then my education needs a break, or I'd go nuts. So anyway, I digress. So what's my plan? My plan is I'm going to get off. Oh, wow, look at all that nastiness. See, this is what happens when you have fun and you go in areas that are great. And this is actually another awesome part. You get to see just some of the nastiness from trail running. Look at this. That's dried grass. Beautiful, right? So anybody coming in, say hi, pop in. I'll harass you guys. You harass me. It'll be a beautiful situation. I haven't actually got to harass you too much, Jared. I kind of miss it. You've been quiet. I know you've been working. I know you've been busy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get off these chubs, because that's what I'm really focusing on. So I'm going to start off top. And come on, baby girl. Break cleanly. Don't do this to me. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. It's going to do it to me. All right, let's try this again. Let's get the brand new one. There it goes. All right. Boom. One. So you guys see what I'm doing is I'm not even bothering to disassemble my my whole portals. I am going right from the top. I'm just taking care of it all, because my goal is not the portals. My goal is the C-hubs themselves. So what is that going to do for me? Well, actually, I don't have much of a choice. Because in order to get to that, I got to get the axle out. Wait, no, I don't. I don't have to disassemble it. I just got to be smarter than the average bear. Okay, so one of the downsides that I found with this particular setup that I have I think these are Racing. In some ways, I really like them. They've got some caster and essential cant I can adjust, but they also have bearings. And my bearings in this are pretty well gone already. You can already feel the grime. Here's like that little bearing. Let me see if you guys can see it. Yeah, you see it? It's real little. So that's a downside of this particular one. Upside that I can see, it is a simple design. I am pretty happy with it. So it's a matter of kind of figuring out what exactly I want to do. All right, I need a 2.5 for this right here, so I can get my steering arm off. And I put a custom bolt in here because sometimes what you got to do. Hey, what's going on, RC Voodoo? What's going on, Travis? Right? That feeling of it almost stripping is the single worst. You can feel it too. All right, good. She's out. Boom, done. Well, I might as well do a little maintenance and just clean that up. All right, so I'm gonna flip her over, and so you guys can see what I'm gonna be doing here. You know what? See, these two twos are actually coming in handy. Well, there you go. We'll support it there. Let me see if I can get some light over here so y'all can see, and I can see me. There we go. All right. So what I'm gonna be doing is trying to get these out here. You see, I use this truck. This is a go-to truck for me. I think these are 1.5. Pretty sure they are. No, I'm wrong. They just happen to be heavily grease covered, but that's okay because I can use that to get it out. And I use some old foam that I don't use anymore. Okay, where's my 2.0? It's 2.5. Here we go, 2.0. All right. Gotta take your time. Again, on these particular housings, they are plastic, but my biggest concern on this truck is losing them, which I hope would make sense. The screws are the flat screws. Now, I think the kit that I got from GPM actually provides them, and we'll go over that here once I get this right side apart. This is the passenger side, actually. Huh, I'm having a good day. What's going on, guys? Hey, Bull Gear. How you holding up, brother? Just doing some C-Hub change on the TRX4. Appreciate that, Voodoo. Have a good one, man. So, yeah, we're just trying to rock this out. We got our trusty magnet, and we'll see where this goes. Because we all know here in RC, there never is the easy way. If it's too easy, there's a problem, which I'm sure you guys can absolutely agree with. All right, boom. She's off. Haha. So these are the Racing. I've used them a decent amount. These are relatively new. And I mean, you can see the amount of wear that I have it all on it already, especially on the lower sections. So let's open up these bad boys and check them out. I'm looking forward to doing this, and there's a few reasons. I'm sure you'll see why. Which one's the right? Which one's the left? It's not clearly marked. Oh, yes, it is. All right, so I'm just not very observant, and I'll show you guys where it's marked. So whenever you go and I'm going to grease these bad boys. I got some grease over here somewhere. All right, so we do have a parts kit. So in this parts kit, let me see if I can get a little closer up here with the camera. You will see some of the longer screws as well as the. Let me see if I can get this in focus. There you go. Just there we go. I'll get to you in a second, Bull Gear. You got those standard screws. You also do have the screws that sit inside the the chub, which is a beautiful thing. So, boom, let's do this. What I do notice is there is a plastic piece right here. So when you look on here, there you go. It is plastic and on the inside, so that gives it at least something kind of gentle to wear against. I do like that. Not everybody will. Also, if you look, you will see. I'm gonna try and get it in zoom in, to zoom in here for a second. Right here, where it does have the right hand label. There it goes. It is labeled. So I am using the correct side. Boom, boom. Now, I don't know if you guys notice right there. You'll see what I'm going to do right with that. And it's got everything to do with my shock. And to answer your question, Bulgir, I might have fallen in love with those KLRMs. All goes well. It's raining out. It'll stay raining all night. And I'm in the middle of a German Shepherd right now. Yeah, it's fine. I'm getting yelled at. It's the story of my life. We'll see where this goes. I am going to take these out, and I'm going to bash it. I'm going to hit the mud. It is going to be hardcore, and all goes well, I'll be able to YouTube video it. That's the goal. Now, whether it happens or not, we'll see. My daughter decided to take a spill today, and in the past, 2 or 3 times in the past couple of months, there we go, ER trip. So it is what it is. It's what happens when you have a daughter that's just like you. She's crazy. So much fun. So, and you're right, Jared. I do need to grease these. So I might have to step out and go grab some grease right quick. Because that's the one thing that I do not have with me. All right. And you can see why grease is so important. If you look at this particular my axle, it's actually outside of the dirt build up. It's actually in pretty good shape. Reason is I did use marine grease on it. I could take my rag, which I'll grab from right over here. Take my rag, wipe it off, add some fresh stuff, continue on my way, and most importantly, it'll protect my bearings. And if I even just go on the inside, they're still exactly what I would expect from my bearings. Exactly what I would expect. So that makes me very happy. So let's see what she does. Let's get this in. Remember, on plastic, you don't want to over tighten it. You want to just get it pretty snug. I'm going to step away for 2 seconds. I could even do a dance. And go grab some grease, because that's the one thing that I don't happen to have. All right, be right back. Give me a hot second. My dad's probably going to yell at me, but that's, part of life. I make him mad about once every, couple months. Story of my life. I'm not gonna adjust it. All right, so coming back in. So got my grease. So funny story how this grease happens. So Jared, I can't Loctite these particular ones into the C-hub straight out because it's plastic. Plastic and Loctite don't get along, so therefore you will be creating an issue. Everything else will be Loctite, don't worry. So funny story about this particular can of grease. My father has an awesome German Shepherd. He's a great dog. And he happened to eat about half the tube. Took him to the vet. vet took care of it. He's all good. Um, and it's all he's fine. He would do it again because I think he just likes the smell. He's a weird dog. He's a mechanic's dog, is what he is. He's a special creature. But by the way, Jared, I'm gonna I got Loctite. Didn't I show you that? Like first thing, like one of the first things right here. Harbor Freight, guys. Look, Loctite. The real Loctite is great stuff. Harbor Freight also has. I've had some very good luck with their Loctite. It is pretty intense. It's very good. And yes, I'm drinking tea because I don't need coffee. All right. So, how much grease do I like to put on? I like to be pretty liberal with it. So, because America. I'm not afraid to make sure that this truck is taken care of. This is a comp truck. I also trail it. I'm not afraid for anything. I built it to be bulletproof, and if I break it, I'm honestly impressed. I do let most of you guys who have kind of followed the channel, followed my builds, know what I've put into this. And everybody can do the numbers, because the hobby itself is not cheap. No fun hobby is going to ever be cheap. And people ask me, like, would you let a 2-year-old take care of it? I'm like, I already do. Because my tiny human is nuts, and she drives anything like it's hers. Then again, she doesn't know any better, but she is not afraid to put something through its paces. Now, when you guys are using Loctite, don't be careful not to use too much. Too much Loctite, you create an issue, and you'll not be able to get it out, and possibly strip a gear, strip something. And that's exactly what I don't want to do. And take your time, feel it in. That is what she said. All right. So I'm going to go, whenever I tighten this down, I'm not going to go all the way. I'm going to go to kind of snug-ish. So that way I have some play for later. And apparently I'm going to have to open up the my spare parts bag, because as everybody would expect, I always have a part that's going to fail completely. So, which part is it? There's a surprise. It's the little bracket on here that will not cooperate with me. Actually, this is a 2.5. I kind of like that. This is all right. So this is a little bit bigger. This is a 2.5 millimeter instead of 2.0. I'm going to put this one on top to ensure. No, maybe it is 2.0. Maybe I'm just being ridiculous. Never. Okay. Maybe it's American? Because the 2.5 is too big. Huh. That's interesting. No. 2.5 works on the money. All right. So we will use our 2.5. Of course, give her a little Loctite, not too much, because I don't want any issues in the long run with things failing. And go ahead and put this in. Now I'm going to adjust the truck so to make sure that it walks in cleanly. Okay. She's walking in nice and clean. Yeah, so it's interesting you say that you give that point, Travis. I kind of like the idea of using the bottle. It just helps me control things more. But we each have our own different ways, and that's one of the best things I found about this hobby is because as right as we are, we're never always right. So Brad, I'm actually thinking about that. Point out. All right. Yeah, I do point out my little finger. You enjoy that? Um, I was thinking about the red cat. Um, right now, I don't have the funds to afford it. I got some other things to pay for, such as my daughter's ER visit today. But such as toddler life. Uh, Jared, you're gonna understand one day. One day, it'll be the right day. Actually, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about how this feels. I'm actually going to use this stock, the part came with it. I know it's a 2.5, and I'll just make sure I'll have to make sure that I have it with me. But I like the way that it feels a little bit better. It feels a little more beefy. So this is a complete trial and error. So bear with me, guys. This is the first time I've done this particular setup on this truck. I do look forward to it because I think it'll definitely work out in the long run. And you see, like, this is a very custom build. You'll also see the shocks that I'm using are stock TRX, not a thing. TRX all they're honestly, I think, the best shocks for the money. So, and that's kind of my thought process. Why change something that works when I know numbers wise it's going to meet the exact specifications that I need. So what I'm talking about, by the way, Jared, is I'm actually going to use the 2.5 on the bottom, not that little one, not the 2.0. So everything will stay 2.5. It seemed like it had a better fit inside the washer itself. So what Brad's talking about is Red Cat came out with a 1.15 scale crawler. It's huge. It looks really cool. I mean, it really does look really cool. I'd love to buy one, but I don't have that kind of money. Oh, you'll understand one day. Tiny humans, dude. Tiny humans. I don't want to. I'd like to eventually monetize. I won't give you my. I'll give you my line for them. Personally, whenever I see you next comp, that I'm able to come. But it's an entertaining version, and your buddies up there will appreciate. Now, excuse me. Where did I put that other? So this is the problem with RC, right? You go to do your job, you go to fix something, and then you go, where did I just put that? Hold my sippy cup. And of course, the parts you never get any extras. So the sippy cup becomes real. All right. But like I said, Jared, one day you'll understand with kids. They are so much fun, but they are a lot of work, brother. You're young. Enjoy being young. So I don't see it. I'm going to use my light down here, see if it fell. Almost stepped on something. Nope, of course not. Of course it's not there. Yay. So I do have to send it. Great. All right. So I'm going to move that, move the grease. Grab one of these. It's been a long day, guys. It's been a very long day. So as you guys look and as you guys grow, it's truth. You'll see, different characteristics, different ideas that come throughout the RC world. Different shock setups. Why is it better to have a instead of cantilever front shock setup? Why is it better to have a vertical? That's a lot of that is all preference. I know some of us like cantilever across the board. Some of us like it only on a rear. Um, and you got to play the game. Jared, that Rustler is currently broken half shafts, both of them rear. So it's currently front wheel drive. So there's that. Last time I used it, I sent it on 3S often, and it was fun, but it broke. There you go. So, and that's the other side of this as well. You got to just loosen it just like 1/8 turns just to make sure it's just enough to get the job done. All right, cool. That's in there. Also, you want to make sure that it's not too tight, so that way when you go to use and work with the crawl, there it goes. That's perfect. So that way it can go and it won't burn out a motor. That's another big thing that I do worry about is burning out a motor. Because I'm a servo killer. If anybody knows me, it's my job to kill servos one at a time. There's my pan hard. It goes there. This goes here. Yep. Yes, it does. And I know Jared's going to harass me here just because America and Jared. And I'm only going to put Loctite on the bottom, just on a little bit on the bottom. I'm not as opposed to having a little bit more on this one, just because this is my steering unit. This is what's going to make the truck help, or a big part of the performance. So having a little extra is not going to hurt, in my humble opinion. That's actually why I also put a bigger screw on it. Put a 2.5 mil, so it can handle that. And it comes down perfectly. Good. Beautiful. Oh, you're kidding, Brad. I didn't see anything. If you can, share a link to that news, because that's gonna be cool. Tamiya bringing out a monster Beetle with portal axles. I mean, there's literally been a straight craze with the portal axles. It's insane. Almost every there's only one major manufacturer, two. HPI hasn't done it. Well, HPI is not even a manufacturer right now. They're in limbo. Basically in I don't want to say collections, but their business is taking a downturn, and not because we want it to. But they're like they're in bankruptcy. I think that's the best word for it over in Great Britain. So someone used, let's see how much fishing line I can get off of this. So this is another advantage of or a good thing to do when after you get out on a trail. I just kind of parked the truck. I didn't really do anything after, so I didn't have any damage. But there it goes. Try and clear some of this nastiness out. Basically, if you can see this right here, there's little lines here. Let me pull this up to the camera. There's little lines all through here. That's fishing line. So what I'm going to do is take off my my wheel hub here. Try and clean that out a little bit, because it's nothing. It's not the tastiest. Try and get as much of that nastiness out of there. Ugh, yuck. Let's see if I can actually get it down. Nope. On the other side. There she goes. All right, I felt it. Let it go. This is another piece that it's very important to make sure that you Loctite. Yes, it's protected by the wheel, but if the wheel falls off, well, this piece will be gone. This little grub screw. Let's see how much we get off. All right, so you look closely, all of this is just fishing line is about to come off. Look at that. So where I like to go every so often does get a lot of fishermen. It's right on the side of a creek. in a heavily populated area, and it's great. It's a beautiful little spot. And what I also like about it is it's constantly changing. Heavy floods, that rushing water changes the landscape on a natural cycle. And I want to give a quick shout out, and this is rare, and I keep bringing you into this, Jared, because you're there. But Jared, from where he lives, understands there's a running joke about the Department of Transportation having a few seasons: construction, winter, more winter, and construction. And Virginia Department of Transportation actually does a pretty good job of not sucking. Sometimes. Keep that in mind. Sometimes. But they're the ones that had the bridge design approved and provided the rock for me to go play on, because it's up underneath a bridge. That's why every so often, if you're watching that video, you'll hear cars going above, because they really are going above. It's a heavily traveled road as well, so just gotta be careful. All right, cool. All right, we're gonna take off the chub here. I'm gonna do the bottom one. Back this out. Oh, this is nasty. You can just feel it's nasty. Okay, she's out. Put that there. Flip the front. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the steering, so that way I have something to work with. All right, and she's almost there. Boom, and out. And I will take off that final C-hub screw. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, gentle. There she goes. You can feel the crispiness. Like I said, the Racing ones have actual bearings in them, and the bearings, I'm kind of disappointed it didn't last as long as I'd like it to. But that's part of the game. All right, so here, fresh out. Got lots of nastiness. Got some fishing line inside. Yeah, I'm glad I took it apart. This is just maintenance that could actually destroy, and cost some downtime, and which none of us want. So I'm gonna spin it a couple times, just make sure everything's free. Feels good on the interior, so we're good there. And if you notice as well, I don't have any brass. The backside's aluminum, just a touch of weight. But I do play the weight game. So just for future. All right. So I'm going to catch up on here. Go to website. Monster Beetle will have an independent suspension all the way around. That's really cool. On portal axles and IRS suspension, I'm intrigued. How is that possible? Because the idea of a portal axle is to be a solid axle. So are they gonna tell me, out of curiosity, Brad? I know you probably don't have the answer, but let's just create the conversation because America. Are they gonna put out a Unimog for it? I had to ask because it's America. All right, it's time to get out those 3 little screws. I took my rag, just clean it off a little bit because of all the grease. Like I said, this is Lucas marine grease. I'm not playing around. And inside here, I'm going to use my 1.5 just to kind of clear the grease from the internals, and then wipe it off so that way it stays clean. Then I'll use my Workhorse 2.0 and back these out. As I'm backing these out, you might notice a couple pieces of dirt falling. This particular table has seen quite a bit, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. I've got a few comps coming up. I've got to register for Super Shafty if anybody's going to go. Super Shafty will be hosted in Maryland at Wisp Resort. They use basically the tubing area, and they take care of everything there. There's relatively lower amount of water. The rocks are completely different because they're not jagged. They're very worn down. So it's a different experience. I was on my way last year when my car failed, and literally my both catalytic converters, front and rear, decided to stop working, and that was fun, replacing them. And actually, believe it or not, eBay got me my parts, so that's a very happy situation. All right, I'm gonna put my left hand side one on. If you guys can see the L. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Sherry? Night is going well. It's okay. Had a few honey bear moments because my bear's like me, and when she sends it, she goes hardcore, all out, and that's just how she rolls. She's cute. Look at the time down ahead. Six wheel drive. All right. All right. Well, I will take a look at that. I may not purchase Tamiya, because I know. I mean, let's be real about everything. Tamiya is not cheap. They're great quality though. But I definitely want to take a look at that just to lick my chops and hope. All goes well also over the summer. I'm going to try and go live a little more often, whether it's I'm crawling or somewhere. I would really like to get to that magic 1,000 number so I could go live here with you guys instead of having to be on Facebook. But you got to do what you got to do, or Instagram. So if you guys get a quick second, don't be afraid to throw me a follow, Wrecker RC, and also Wrecker REKKR Outdoors. So Brad, you said cheaper than a Red Cat. Here's the question: I know isn't the Red Cat RTR versus the Tamiya? Well, every Tamiya kit you got to put together. At the same time, I really do like Tamiya quality. There's I don't think anybody that's in this watching will even have an argument against Tamiya quality, because it is quality. All right, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna dip my dip the axle, get it all nice and greasy. No, she ain't squealing pig, but she definitely got to do some work here. I want to make sure that I get that grease up inside that ball joint, because this thing is literally going to be in the mud tomorrow. I'm going to call the doctor, set up an appointment, a follow-up appointment for the bear. For those who are just tuning in, the bear is my daughter. She decided to take it. She decided to lose her balance and fall off the piano today, and hit her head. And there's a trip to the ER. So this is kind of my woo-saw moment. I'm telling you, she's totally me. I'm just like thinking about everything that happened. My pappy who was my father, got a first-hand view. I'm sitting across the room, and she just boom straight down. Now, you feel bad for her. She cried, but she just got right back up. She just wanted mommy, and she was ready to go until we saw the nice little gash on her head. So, hospital ER visit later. Oh, it's the bear. All right, so I'm putting these back in. Like I said, I'm using the I think these the kit that came with it. We'll see how it does. I'm definitely excited because these are a bit bigger. I feel like it gives me a little bit more meat to work with around the less likelihood of stripping. There it goes. This happens to this one feels like it's a better quality. I'm gonna adjust myself here. There he goes. Nope. All right, and in. There she goes. There she goes. All right. So like I said, I'm only going to do is just a tiny bit tight just to kind of get it in. And I'll take out the other one, which is of course the other pieces, down way at the bottom, all through all this extra stuff. Then we'll see. All right. You know what? I'm just going to take out a couple of these just to make sure I get it. All right. So we're good. Got it. All right. We'll put this in. Just a bit of Loctite. Actually, that's like the perfect amount of Loctite. It's like I did this once or twice, I think. All right, now we just gotta thread it in there. Nice and easy. Don't drop it. Enjoy a German Shepherd who heard a squirrel. Well, actually, probably a cat. There's a bunch of feral cats around here. He's a good dog, though. I love having him here. All right, this is just a terrible angle. Yep, I'm going to adjust this angle on this truck because it's just easier. All right. It's also a sassy dog, too. Lots of personality. He's entertaining. I appreciate it. Hey, what's going on, boy? I appreciate you dropping by and saying what's up. And thank you for that, Sherry. She'll be fine. She honestly, in like 5 minutes after, she was like ready to go. It was mom who got freaked out. Wait, you're a mom, so you understand. There's definitely entertainment value to it. She's cute. God, I'm so screwed when she gets older. I don't want to be. I am. I accept it. All right. So. Just making sure she's ready to go. She's all tight. All right. Awesome. So. This situation is going to be complete here in a hot second. I'm going to take this. I'm going to put this back in. Put this one back in. And we will be ready to go. Quick measurement. Good to go. And in. So links-wise, links I have in the works RC links. Now, I want to be fair and say that he is a sponsor. He's actually one of our first sponsors. But Brett does some spectacular work. Creative. I basically gave him, I went away one weekend to go visit some family, and I dropped my truck off at his place. He doesn't live super far from me, so it just made sense. It was an opportune. Well, he was just doing some links for me. He making some adjustments. I showed him what my plan was, and I just told him get froggy. Well, he got froggy, and he literally buttoned the truck up. And he made it real nice and pretty, just like he would have done it on his own. And he came up with these links. Just going to show these out because I really like these. High clearance across the board. Yeah, they're excellent. I have zero qualms with them. I'm rather impressed with them. Let's be honest. The performance they've given is exactly what I was looking for, and along with the bang for the buck, his prices are very, very, very competitive. They're might not be the cheapest, but they're definitely not the most expensive. And there's a couple other guys that I want to quick shout out to Ryan Gormester over at D-Links, as well as Michael Newman at Hardcore RC. I know Mike personally. I've met him. I've comped with him a few times. He's a good dude. We interviewed him here live on Record RC TV. Um, he's a solid dude, and he makes some really good stuff. And if you essentially ask Brent, the owner in the works, if you want titanium, he's just going to send you to hardcore. He's going to send you to Mike, because Mike does some magic secret squirrel stuff with titanium. I don't know what he does, but it's secret squirrel. So we don't even bother asking. So anyway, so that's good. All right, front's buttoned up, ready to go. Now back. I've got these red ones on that I've had on for a long time. It's going to be entertaining because one of them is roached, and you guys are going to enjoy watching me struggle to get it out. Where's Wayne? Oh, yeah. I'm lost in the conversation, but that's the story of life. All right, so let's get this off. All right, she's good, off. Now, like I said, on this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take a look around the hexes, make sure everything is solid there. Everything looks to be good. There's no extra play. And more importantly, there's also no extra nastiness. All right, so what am I going to do? Well, on this one, of course, this is the one that's roached, right? It's always got to be the first one. So this is either going to work or it's going to straight out fail. And I think we all know what what's going to happen. It's going to fail. So take my box off so I can get an angle on it. I know you guys like that, right? Velcro. All right, I need to get this thing off. I don't know that I'm going to. Yeah, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to see if my pliers will work. If I can't get this off, I'm not cutting it off. I'm just going to end up probably just tearing apart the axle and praying. This is going to be not fun. All right. So what happened here was I was stupid and cross-threaded it. Oh, it'll be fine. That's a lie. No, what's actually going to end up having to happen here? There's no way I'm going to be able to get this out. I'm just going to have to drill it out. And that's going to be a long process. I'm sure you guys do not want to watch. Actually, I'm sure you do want to watch because you want to watch me struggle. But I don't know that's going to be the best idea. So what I am going to do, and what I am going to continue to do, is actually I'm going to be adjusting my shocks, my shock position. So some of what you're going to see here, I have this particular chassis, which is the oh my gosh, it's the brazen scale chassis. Has a little flexibility built into it, which I really like. Some of that flexibility comes with a price, though, and a lot of it just comes down to tuning. You know, are you able to tune with what you got? I am in the process of trying to figure out what works for me. I have found some limitations of billy draggers that I'm trying to find the happy medium of making the adjustment. And we will find out in the near future if my adjustments are worth it. I hope they are. I would love to see it work out. Cool. We'll see if that works. That should be good. Okay. So, tuning wise, yeah, I'm just not in the mood right now to get a cutting wheel out. I don't disagree with you. I think what I really like to see on this particular truck is when it sits low. And what I'd like to really do is ensure that everything is as low as possible. How do I do that? Well, this is the external stock TRX4 springs. So part of that I'm running as droop as I can get with the outer spring on the outside. Now, when the truck goes up something, I have like a little flex, but my axle will drop it'll drop significantly. Boom. And I'm not looking for a lot of flex. Actually, you can see the difference. From here, I'll get more downplay here than I will there, but I'll get more up travel on an angle. So I'm back and forth. Do I think I want the downplay, or I have that option of going right in between. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see what I can do to put it in the middle. Kind of get a 50-50 feel for it, and we'll see what she's like. It could work out. It might not. And it's a high probability that it's going to have to go here in the middle. No, I don't need to get this thing blast off like a rocket, brother. This thing does enough. I don't need a lot of speed with it. I want control. For speed, I got the Rustler. I'm not afraid to send that because that's just flat out. It's a fun truck. All right, we'll put that there. So in order to get the right spacing for everything, we definitely had to play with it. So I can get the right offset, so I can actually be able to adjust everything up and down. This is definitely an interesting truck. So we will see. I'm going to actually put this wheel back on and see how she sits. So that way I can make some adjustments. All right, get this wheel. Where's my knee? There we go. Now I do need to take a trip to the hobby shop and pick up some more 7mm nylocks. Kind of, mine are just dying. All right, so let's see how it sits. I'm gonna move this. It's got a slight lean on the front. I don't know that I can do anything there, but I think part of that's just the actual shock pressure. There's a natural pressure on this, but we'll play with that. We'll play with that. So it definitely has a slight lean. And if you guys know anything about the comps, they don't like any lean. It's not because we want it. It's just because that's the rules. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do is play the happy medium and make that adjustment. It used to be 2 over. I'm going to put it to just 1 over and see what I can get. Now that's definitely much less of a lean. You can see it. And before Jerry even says something, where's my Loctite? Because I know what Jared's thinking, and I know what I'm thinking, and I think my Loctite fell. Of course it did. This is red. No, it's blue. We're good. A little too much. That's all right. That's life. This will come off. I got pliers for this. This should be actually perfect. Boom. I grab my pliers. Always keep a set of needle nose around if possible, guys. It just makes some certain things a lot easier. Cool. That's excellent. So that slight angle will give me a little bit of flex, but not like an excessive amount. And you can go into any crawler forum and find guys that are like, "Oh, I just got flexed out." That's not me by a long shot. I want something that's going to be a usable amount, not an impossible amount to work with. So that's why I don't want to. I don't make fun of them because it does come in handy sometimes. Certain situations, like if you have an MOA crawler, I'd want a mad amount of flex as well. But that's not my thing. So, but that is a lot of other guys' thing, especially out in California. They got a great scene for the motor on axles. You can have control of speed. See, I'm not a go fast guy. Brad, I am not a go fast guy. If you watch any of my videos, I am at the scene at the next crash because that's just how it happens. If there's a wall, I'll find it. I promise you. If there's something to run into, I'll find it. And if there's a race, I'll lose. You'll never see me win a time race. I am probably one of the slowest crawlers that you'll see. And Jared, Jared's seen it. That I am a slow guy. I like control over speed. That's just my style. All right, boom. Actually, I like that setup. It looks good. It looks solid. I can play with that. So what that's going to do is give me a little bit of flex up here. Not too much. It gives me about a fistful of flex in the front. And in front's about the same. Not too much. I have very, very minimal up and down movement. Just enough. And it's not a crazy setup. I like it. We will run this setup and see where it goes. And we'll run this tomorrow. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. So, the other thing that I wanted to do. It's already been an hour. Actually, it's funny you mentioned that, Brad. I've seen crawlers do 40 as well. TRX2s, TRX4s, and on 6S, along with if you put the right pinion in and you get the right motor, like a 3300 or something stupid, or a 1/8 scale Castle, go for it. It's fun to watch those guys go. It's not my cup of tea, but it is really entertaining to watch some of those guys go. So, next part of my adventure, I need a 2.5 millimeter, which we got here. I got 2.0. Now, here's where it's about to get fun. I am going to take my motor off, and we are going to put a 13 tooth pinion on this. I also need a 1.5 as well, because, well, I can't ever do anything without a 1.5. Boom, boom. Cool. And, of course, I got more stuff in there. All right. That's done with the 2.0. I just got one screw there. The rest of this is a 2.5, I think. One. So, earlier, was it last week? I gotta give a quick shout out to my father. He bought a couple extra TRX4 transmissions, and he and I did a little trade. Because I thought I was going to use the 2-speed. That's where I was going to go a week ago. And my my 2-speed kind of seized a little bit. It was pretty bad. It was terrible, actually. Pretty bad. That's a joke. It was terrible. She seized. Bearings were shot. So I have it set aside right now, where he's at, hanging out, ready for a rebuild. I also have to do my HPI and do a rebuild on that. But I'm going to run this truck Class 2 and Class 3 because America. All right, boom, got my transmission kit. So I'm going to take off the pinion here, and we are going to see how this sits. So I'm not going to put this on just yet so I can make adjustments on my pinion. Let me bring it down, bring the light here. Okay. This is currently its stock Traxxas 11 tooth pinion, and it's done me very well. I just need a little more wheel speed. Um, Especially going through some of the mud. I've had a couple issues out of Motorama specifically, and I made some adjustments on my style, my approach, but I also like the gearing that I'm going for. So numbers wise, if you put a number to it, um, a lot of people say, what's the optimal gearing for a crawler? Some people like 64 to 1. Some people even like so low as like 70 to 1. I actually like a slightly higher gear ratio because I like a little more wheel speed. My preferred gear ratio is actually about a 54 to 1. It's actually what literally Holmes Hobby recommends for theirs. Yep, there it is. And you can see this thing's been through some abuse. Let me bring this up. Let me see if I can get this in the light. Sorry, it's bad. There it is. Okay, there it is. Maybe camera. Come on. All right, but there's rust on there. This thing has been flat out abused. I'm hard on stuff. I'm so hard on stuff. So, question for you guys. Do I have to adjust my pinion? Or do I have to adjust my placement for my screw set on this? I would love to see what you guys think. Now, I'm not going to actually bolt this down. As you see, the part of the cover's not on. But what I'm going to do is just line it up. Okay, so that's all lined up. And yes, I do need to adjust where this is going. Now I'm raising it to, so I'm going to do a quick touch of research. And I don't happen to have my my Traxxas book with me. TRX4 manual. Yeah, we can actually go to sport gearing because it'll pull up the manual automatically. Not landing manual. Owner's manual. Going to pull up the file. Go to my PDF viewer. And let's see. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for, there's a breakdown. It's a visual breakdown of what goes where for the pinions. Here it is. It's a gearing chart. So part of that gearing chart, you will, and here I'm going to show you guys. Let's see if you can get it on my phone. Here you go. You can see where the motor mount is, and there's a gearing. This is on page. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. 28 of the book. So I'm looking for a 45 spur, which I have, and a 13 pinion. So I'm going to go to slot E, Echo, which actually makes sense. For standard 11, you're at C. For 12, you're at D. For 13, you're at E, Echo. So I'm going to back it out. I Loctite it is pretty well. Back it out. Going to do my shift. And what it's going to do is give me some, it's definitely not play at all, but it'll give me some adjustment, room for adjustment. Place that there. wow, I definitely Loctited that in very well whenever I did it. So I'm going to make sure I do it again. So I haven't actually taken anything in this motor off since I got it, and I'll tell you what, it's definitely held up. I'm impressed with this motor. Um, Speaking of the motor in ESC or the Hobby Wing Axe, if anybody's running it, they are coming out with a big update. I just saw it on their news. It's 2.01, I believe. What's so big about it is it actually comes out with a new mode for it's called Trail Mode, along with um, some huge advantages. All right, so I need to make sure that this is where it needs to be in comparison to life. It's actually going to twist the motor, I think, a little bit. So that means my wires need to be at a slightly different place. All right, so this is where it's really important. There he goes. To make sure you can line everything up. All right, and in. Make sure you lock tight. Got a little bit on my hands, all fixed. A, B, C, D, Echo. All right. Doesn't seem to want to go right now. That's okay. We'll fix that here in a hot second. There she goes. Huh. That's the screws hole. What's happening here? Sorry. Hey, so Brad, I'm not opposed to looking at Maya. But I am definitely, that's not always my style. My style is definitely more of a crawler. It's what I started out with, kind of holding to my roots, if you will. Um, I started crawling out of pure luck, literally pure blind luck. Buddy of mine entered me, basically told me, "Hey, join this group." Entered me into a raffle. I won, and this is pretty much the crawler that you see. It's definitely not a stock thing. It used to be a TRX4 Sport. So it's great times. Check it out, Brad. One of the biggest things that's great about crawling is its control, and that would definitely be beneficial to speed. I mean, you guys have a different type of control that you're looking for, but mine, I like going slow. I like seeing my mistakes and not having it caused by somebody that I make all my mistakes. Not someone's making them for me or pushing me into a wall or this or that. It's I'm falling off a giant whatever obstacle because I'm an idiot and I didn't do it right. Kind of what it's actually the biggest thing that I like about it. I can't blame anybody else but me. I'm not going to get in an argument because, I mean, anybody can argue about judging. Don't get me wrong there. I don't care what part of the sport you're in. You can argue about judging top to bottom for the rest of life. But you won't find a lot of crawlers arguing, oh, you pushed me into the wall, or, you're a bum. That's just not kind of what the our side of the hobby does. If anything, actually, I really enjoy helping during comp. I love judging kids. Uh, I'm fair on the points, but I'm gonna get them through the course. Tamaya's several crawlers. I've seen some of those crawlers. Um, they look cool. Um, my only problem is they're so intricate that they'll break. That's my biggest fear, if that makes sense. I mean, the TRX4 is intricate in many ways, but also what I really like about it, it's also very durable. Jared's seen me send a few things, and also my father's been there. That the shock should have broke, but it didn't. So, I mean, yeah, I can't argue with that. That's just straight durability. All right. So, I guess for what I wanted to do on the evening, that should be it. I might lighten the oil a little bit on the shocks, on the rear shocks, to let it come down, get a little more play. But that's it. She is pretty much ready to go. She should be good for tomorrow morning. Oh yeah, I have to take that. I do have to take this back off and get some oil in there. Something doesn't feel right. It's probably because I have used the crap out of this thing. And one thing that I noticed, a lot of the parts will take care of. So I'm reading. All right, a lot of companies make tons of parts for Tamayas. That's awesome. The only thing that really turns me off about Tamaya is just the intricacy. I really don't want to deal with how intricate their models are. I want something that are pretty straightforward and simple that I can fix in a heartbeat if I'm out on a trail, if I'm out here, out there. That's the only downside that I see. I've seen some of their stuff, man. Their bodies are top notch. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll look at it, and I don't actually want to turn my nose up to anything because everything has a place. But I don't know that Tamaya would be exactly what I'm looking for. It doesn't mean that I won't look at it. Keep that in mind. So please keep that in mind. I'm never opposed to looking at something and learning. So yeah, gentlemen and ladies, if you're still there, I'm gonna wrap up. I'm gonna do actually my controller's out there. Possibly maybe a quick test. This thing's gonna be faster, no questions asked. And see what she can do. I do intend to take it out and really test out these KLRMs and throw and sling some mud. The area that I was in, you've seen some video from earlier. It's pretty intense. It's a true mud pit. I'm gonna be wearing fishing boots, literally, because it's that muddy. So Brad, you can make them more durable to your liking. Like I said, I'm not opposed to taking a look at it. I have to definitely do my research. Tamaya's been around for a long, long time. And I mean, without Tamaya, we would not be here today with the RCs that are available. No questions asked. They make some great on-road cars. I'm hesitant, and they make some really cool monster trucks. I'm just hesitant with some of the other stuff just because I know how I drive, if that makes sense. Like, for example, Cross. They make one of the nicest scale kits I've seen, period, paragraph. They're really beautiful. If you put together a kit, you're looking at a 50-point truck right off the bat. It's excellent, high quality. but there's a few parts of their inside that are a little more intricate, and on with me, it's likely to fail. And I'm hard on stuff, man. I mean, I bet you if I shake this, oh look, there's dirt coming off. I'm hard on things. That's my only fear. I mean, heck, actually, let me show you how hard I am on things, right? This Jeep body looks pretty good, right? So you look up underneath, and then you'll notice every one of these is broken off. You can see the movement right here where my finger is on the top left. Boom. Well, your top right. It's broken. I'm hard on things. Actually, let's put the body on, just get a quick little visual. See how she sits. There you go. All right. Yeah, that looks pretty good. They're real lean. She looks pretty straightforward. Got some flex, not a ton. Oh yeah, you can see it on this side. I definitely need to fix that shock. And go from there. Well, Brad would actually puts me from not taking the risk is finances. I really don't have too much money to be throwing around with buying new crawlers, buying new RCs. Right now, I'm just trying to do maintenance, and honestly, the life payoffs in debt. I don't disagree with your idea of getting out of the comfort zone, though. Please note that. Please note that. So, heck, this whole truck here, this whole build was out of my comfort zone because this is a custom chassis. Only thing that's actually not original, that is original Traxxas, is literally the housings for the axles, the actual axles themselves, and CVDs, and these shocks. Hey, what's up, Gear? Welcome back. You might get to witnessing. Yeah, actually, you know what? Send it. You're gonna witness me taking apart one of my TRX4 shocks because I don't like the way that it's reacting. We still got some time and we're live. Why not? And I'm going to take some time and just do it. It's going to be this left shock. Well, what is the passenger side shock rear? Take care of this. Boom. It comes right out. All right, good to go. There it is. And that should be good. All right. So what I'm going to do is most people can tell. There you go. All right. And I'm literally just going to take this off. Let's see what I got in here. That's probably original fluid. It feels very thick. I want to thin it out. So what I'm seeing, what I was watching here, I like a shock that reacts quick. Not everybody does. So what I'm actually going to do is take the shock oil out. And I'm actually going to replace it with gun oil. Lucas gun oil. Sure, if some of you guys who know me, I'm a giant Second Amendment rights, and I'm going to use Lucas Red. I've had this bottle. It's been around. Generally, they don't stick, but it just feels like this one just is sticky. I'm not sure that I like that, how sticky that is. That is really sticky. I think something going on a little deeper than just what I wanted to do here. Like something's bent or something. because this should be good to go now. I should be able to make this go. Ah, there it is. So there was something. Whatever was there, it came out on my face. A little special right there. That might have been a piece of dirt, because all of a sudden the shock is reacting a lot more cleanly. There it is. I don't want a lot. I just want enough for lubrication. And this truck flips over enough that it'll get the lubrication that it needs. So, it's like I said, I'm not afraid to send it. All right, and then once I get to that point, tighten her down. So all I did was work the shock to see if anything's bent. It was way too much suction. So now, if you watch, it's good now. So let's see. Let's put this back together and see if that's all it was. It was like an air pocket or like a piece of dirt. You could feel it coming down, up and down. Kind of weird, but all goes well. That'll have taken care of the problem in a rather quick way. Oh, and put my Loctite over here. This shows my 2.0. Good to go. And we are golden. And cool. All right, let's see. Oh, yeah. That is so much better. So, cool. Now, what I'm going to do as we go, though, is I am going to play with the spring. I'm going to play with the spring compression rate. I don't know if anybody caught my caught my video in live interview with Cody Johnson of Dixieland RC. The audio didn't come out very well, so I do apologize for that, guys. He had some technical difficulties on his side that we just tried to resolve and work through. We are going to redo that interview, but he's actually coming out to a solution that kind of makes this gets rid of this big TRX4 spring and puts a smaller spring right here. And that's kind of exactly what I'm looking for. You know, I don't need a lot of travel. I just need enough travel. And if you look at the way the truck sits, here, I'm going to put it, let's see if I can get it here. You see there? And then I can let that go. I got a lot of down travel. And that's exactly what I'm looking for is down travel. Having the belly dragger, I need to have that down travel for the truck to maintain traction to get over whenever it's on hung up on a rock. And I have plenty of down traction on the front, and if anything, I like to get a little more, but that's going to be here nor there, and we'll work with that as time comes. But this is a big game. It really is it's a giant game of excellence that you got to play. So we will see. And all right, guys. With that, I am going to actually. So I think you're. Bruiser chassis, all metal, the high lift series. There's 3 street trannies. Yeah, dude. I was reading about that. I like the idea of the 3-speed tranny. That's fun. Do I find it practical? In my personal case, possibly. I don't want to knock it because I've never used it. But the Bruiser is more of it's a monster truck. Using a monster truck and a crawler have a little different ideas. So that's why I'm not knocking it. It's a different thought process, whole different concept, whole different truck. And I still like the idea a lot. But I just don't know if it's for me or not. That doesn't mean I'm not going to take a look. And you are right in the sense that this truck is pretty intricate. You don't think about it. Um, how much you do in a couple of moments and how much effect it has on the overall motion. Um, so, like for example, if you take away a link, you don't have it upside down, like me right now. Um, you know, you don't know what you're missing, or what's going on. I am actually making an adjustment here on my link because I'm trying to get a touch longer wheelbase. I'm talking like fractions of an inch, but that also comes to really playing and getting to know my truck, what works best for it. All right, and back. Let me get this in here. There she goes. There she goes. Perfect. That's money. And tighten it down. So I don't know if you guys can see it on the live video, but every time I twist this particular piece, just dirt is falling off this tire. I love these tires. I am not gonna lie. If you called me a tire aficionado, or I'm sure we have other better words, um, yeah, I've definitely got a soft spot for these tires, for this brand, um, and I do appreciate the time. Now, a friend of mine and I were talking. Um, we got a theory, because it takes so long to get tires, and I'm thinking they come from like it's like kind of like cars, right? There's only so many factories in the world that produce things. There's only so many places you can go to get it. So I'm thinking there is only a couple factories in China or the United States that would be doing these and doing these tires. And these trade wars are making things interesting. So let me catch up on the comments here. Don't forget the HP 407P. So, Brad, have you seen the litigation with HPI? I bring that up because that's an important piece. They're under they are under bankruptcy right now in British courts. So keep an eye on it. Some people have just been named, I guess. The auditors are responsible parties to this for this situation. So I definitely encourage you to keep an eye on things as it develops. It's going to be an interesting situation as we go. Promise that. I cannot confirm or deny because I honestly don't know if Horizon Hobbies bought it. I mean, knowing how like what they like to do, I wouldn't put it past them. Because they've been expanding aggressively in the market. So, but we'll find out soon enough if Horizon did or did not buy HPI. So we'll find out. I find that quite an interesting thought process. Hi, Jerry. So anybody that's tuning in, Jerry's harassing me because, well, he's my buddy, and I do want to come shoot, but that's neither here nor there. Oh, HP. Sorry. then I made a mistake. What did I do, Jerry? What am I getting the WTF for? I didn't do it. Okay. Arma. I saw a video recently of an Arma on 10S. Let's just let that sink in. Let those words just sink in. Arma on 10S. I saw it on Facebook. I mean, we all know Facebook lies. Saturday. I'm not going to say no. I have to look at my schedule. I do have to look at my schedule. I got to see what's going on with some things. But we'll definitely be in touch with that. Yeah. I haven't touched an amendment to the second piece for way too long. Got to put some rounds down. All right, so and I'm basically just kind of like buttoning everything up, making it look pretty. Fixing a couple little things here and there. Okay, that's too long. 12 to 4. I will definitely keep that in mind. I'll talk to my wife, see what she's got to say. She's a bit jealous right now because we're officially out of school and she's not. So I'm contending with her jealousy. Slight rage, but that's okay. As we all know. So y'all kind of get a heads up. My wife's a teacher as well, so she's awesome. She puts up with my shenanigans so well. She's got little kids and teaches me and deals with me because I'm a little kid. And by the way, thank you. These are the Voodoo KLRMs. Actually, these are my dad's sets of tires. She can say some expletives. She doesn't like to. She's actually a very, very proper person. But when I take her there, it's low Galleretta. It's entertaining for everybody else. It's not me. That's a promise. So that's a guarantee. It's not even a promise. That's a guarantee. Y'all will be entertained. No, but without her, I'd be straight out lost. I wouldn't even be touching RC. And I need to do a little bit of adjustment on these shocks. So, and then we will go from there. So this is going to definitely be an interesting situation. Basically, what I'm doing, got some flex, got a little. I don't have much flex up front. Actually, if anything, I have very little flex up front. I'm gonna actually bring the camera down a little bit so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So my front flex, and not much. Boom, that's it. Right, I can get roughly touching on there. I can get like my thumb kind of compressed, but back here, actually, I can get even less. My right side is great. Why am I getting so little? Okay, I got plenty there. Interesting. Why is that only getting so little? Okay, so that's going and it's pressing in. All right. Well, we're gonna have to test this and find out what's up. So, because my right side is not going nearly as far as my left side is. Yeah, it is too tough. I hear that one, roll gear. Um, it is way too tight. You know why? I know why. Should there? Okay. Those are the same spring weights. What it has to do with the front shock? Okay. Wow, that's entertaining. I got lots of play there. Almost no trouble there. We're going to explore this. This might be an interesting setup. I'll do some, yeah, I don't know. I haven't touched the four-link part of the suspension. I almost feel like my front shocks are hanging up. Actually, my front shocks are hanging up. No, they're not. I know why. It's got to do with an adjustment I need to make. So, I definitely need to make an adjustment. Probably slightly, looks like the rear leg is hitting the frame. No, there's nothing hitting the frame. It makes sense that you say that. I think it's in the front suspension, to be honest with you. I made an adjustment for hill climbing that I don't think I like. I'm gonna have to play with this. This thing will climb a hill now like no one's business, but it has almost. If you watch, it's super stiff. So I might just have to take it apart. See, that's the right side's great. Left side's stupid stiff. Feels like it's hitting. Okay, so that means I need to make an adjustment, and that's okay. Because it's what we do. That's the fun part about RC. There's always adjustments to be made to make everything just a little bit better. No, I didn't make the wheelbase any much longer. If anything, that longer wheelbase, we're talking like it went from a 12.3 to a 12.4. So that's not going to be enough of an issue. That's going to cause what I'm dealing with. I think what I'm dealing with is a shock that needs readjusted. It goes. Okay. Boom. Okay. So there's plenty of movement without any issues. Yeah, there you go. Okay, I see what the issue was. I made a mistake when making an adjustment on my shocks. Because I'm trying to keep this from rising as much as possible. And if I do that, yeah, it's amazing that you say that. Because everything on this particular chassis is so low that I could really tighten this up. Make the fronts be very tight. They might actually work out well, but the whole truck would have to be very tight. Excuse me, and I think I'd have to go to 110 millimeters on the rear so I can get that droop that I'm looking for. So I don't want a lot of movement up front. Actually, if anything, I want the least amount of movement possible, for the sheer fact that, um, you know, I want my tires to maintain contact. I'd rather have my rear moving. So we'll see. Play with it. Either way, it's gonna be fun because we're going in the mud tomorrow. So, all right, guys. I appreciate all 5 of you sticking around. Bull Gear, Jerry, Brad, um, Father there, Jerry's there. Not sure, but we are going to. I'm going to sign off. Got a few things I need to take care of before I hit sack, and I want to say thank you, guys. Um, little live maintenance. Sure you guys enjoy some of that rust coming up here because I didn't paint this. This is a raw steel, from Brazen. Like I said, this truck is a truck that's not being used, and we're gonna have some fun. All goes well tomorrow. Break, charge some back, and we're gonna send it. I'm gonna see if I can get on Facebook Live and have fun, guys. Thank you very much, Brad. Great talking to you, Jerry. I'll see you soon. I'll give you a call. Guys, thank you very much. Have a great one. Later, Bull.